Good morning, Center Church, and happy Saturday. So today we're going to take a look at Psalm 58 written by David. And this is an imprecatory psalm. This is a psalm where David calls down curses on men who are wicked. Let's take a look at verse 1. David asks a question. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? Small g. These are earthly rulers or judges. And David's asking a question. Do they do what is right? And he answers this in verse 2. No, in your hearts you devise wrongs. Your hands deal out violence on the earth. So there are wicked men in these positions doing wicked things. Verses 3 through 5 continue. The wicked are estranged from the womb, speaking lies. They have venom like the venom of serpents, like the deaf adder that stops its ear. Think in this way of a snake who doesn't have external ears. And what this is saying is that these men have stopped their ears. They've made up their minds. They're doing wicked things. They will not change. And at this point, David is outraged. He's outraged at the injustice. So he calls on God to do something about it. And we see this in verses 6 through 9. It says, "Oh God, break the teeth in their mouths. Let them vanish like water that runs away. Let them be like the snail that dissolves into slime, like the stillborn child who never sees the sun." David is calling for God to curse these wicked men because of the injustice. And then verse 10 says, "The righteous will rejoice when he sees the vengeance." This is God's vengeance. "He will bathe his feet in the blood of the wicked." Again, not our usual happy Christian reading, but in this, think of a battlefield and two opposing groups of soldiers and the victors running through the enemies that are dead on the battlefield, running through the blood to victory. This is how important justice is to God. The battlefield is where injustice will be made right. And finally, verse 11 says, "Mankind will say, surely there is a reward for the righteous. Surely there is a God who judges on earth." Mankind is just the observer, not necessarily a Christian, but just the observer watching this will say that the righteous will be rewarded and that God will judge on earth. So where do we take this on a Saturday morning? Our society is calling for justice everywhere, on all fronts. This is a psalm that speaks to where we are today, that God will judge injustice. One day, there will be justice meted out on the wicked by God, and that the righteous, the Christians, will be rewarded. We won't be rewarded because of what we've done, but because of what Jesus did with his death on the cross, taking on our sins and giving us his righteousness. We will be rewarded as Christians. The wicked will be judged. And that is the encouragement today. Even in a dark psalm, even in a psalm, an imprecatory psalm, there is encouragement. One day we will be rewarded. Have a great Saturday.